John, how's the show so far?
It's been fantastic. This is, I think, the fourth year for NTS to be at IRE, and this has been the most traffic, busiest one, exciting, good energy.
What's new with the NTS? I love your videos, your naked videos. Let's just take that
To be clear, when he says naked videos, there's a video of me with the shingle over me. It's not completely naked.
He was naked.
But it was, it was the right trend at the right time. So I like to have fun with what we're doing, man. So it's a lot of fun. But as far as NTS, we finally released sighting reports, and we're getting ready to release age reports. Two very needed things on the market with all the challenges on like ACV policies and how old stuff is. We're starting to get age available in there too. So we've got a lot of exciting things coming for NTS. Lots of fun.
Love it. Here's what I would like to discuss. We were talking before we started rolling about price increases.
Sure.
And here's what I noticed on my side of things. I'm a consumer advocate, so I get a lot of homeowners watching my videos. And for the past couple of years, I have seen a lot of homeowners in comments complaining about their roof costing as much as it does. People would say something like, I replaced my roof in 2017. It was $8,000. Screw you, roofers. You're greedy. I'm getting quotes. It's over $20,000, $25,000. So people used to pay this amount, and now they pay way more. And what I see is, I actually talk to a lot of roofers, and I ask them, do you see more Karens? Do you see more pissed customers? Do you see more difficult customers? And they say 100%. In the past couple of years, they have more difficult customers who don't want to pay bill at the end or accusing roofer to be greedy. And I blame it actually on the price increases. Here's why. And I want your take on it if you see it on your side of things working with the roofers. $10,000 sale is completely different than $25,000 sale.
Yes.
Like mindset, like I remember when I was a contractor 2015, 16, I would be driving home and having 5-6 checks in my pocket, and but the jobs were $10,000, $15,000, so down payments were $6-7 grand. People are writing checks for them. You cannot do that for $30,000 roof. So I blame increase of hard, difficult customers because tickets are much higher, expectations are higher, and everything is harder. Do you see it on the insurance side? Do you see it, in your world?
Gosh, we see it a lot. And it's kind of interesting, you see globally the timing of when suppliers up prices. And it's just the irony that it all seems to happen, the coincidence, that it all happens at the same time, the same month. The manufacturers move the price, the suppliers move the price, and that price is going up. Meanwhile, on the insurance side, you have companies like ITEL providing a price that's the cheapest price you can get a shingle for. So they're going to ITEL's going to the carrier saying, we can give you a guaranteed price that it actually doesn't even reflect the price of the market in many situations. So you have one side trying to drive the price down. You have the supply side bringing the price up, and then you got a consumer in the middle of all that.
So roofer is the one who's getting robbed.
Well, and you got a consumer in there asking questions like, who's right? Who do I believe? Do I believe my roofer? Do I believe my insurance company? Do I believe the manufacturers and suppliers? And it just, I think it's missing a little bit of focus on the end user, the consumer, the person that really matters in that situation, the person who's going to receive that job and that product. So, and I'm a big believer in competitive business and that we should have competition, and we want to make money. That's why we're all in business for that reason. We didn't start non-profit roofing companies,
of course.
But where does it stop?
Do you think those big players? So we have 3 moving parts here. We have insurance companies who's also business, right? They're business for profit.
It's got to be economical for them.
So they're trying to increase their profits, right? They're making billions, and they want to, when Papa John's saves 2 cents on the cardboard, they're going to sell millions per year. So insurance companies doing the same thing. But then you have manufacturers who also think, do you think the problem is because the roofing was so profitable, because 30-40% profit margins? Grocery stores have like 2 or 3% profit margins. Clothing, I think 70%. So other industries are not as profitable, and I feel like we were under attack. I feel like so many big players like roofers are making too much. Let's get everybody's value proposition to a roofer is after like, oh, just 5%. Oh, we'll finance your receivables for 10%, and everybody wants to, piece of that pie that the roofer gets. Do you think the problem was because it was too profitable for too long?
I think that's a part of the issue. I see a lot more on the insurance side. contractors used to take an insurance job at face value and then started supplementing. Then we had big supplement companies help with that process, and
Then we have lawyers.
more presence of public adjusters and appraisers and things like that. And the roofing industry realized that there was more opportunity for margin in those, and where to draw the line between the margin in it versus just down to the minute detail of, hey, I have to have every specific line item on there, and that's just the right thing. But I do feel like everybody saw that, hey, the roofer's margin went from 20% up to 40 and 50%. So where do we start taking back some of that margin and make it more economical for the insurance carriers, and a little more margin in the manufacturing side and the distribution side? Everybody wants a piece of that pie. But yeah, it wasn't a secret. I mean, roofers got pretty braggy about how successful they were and the money they had, and not all of them, but
So
we've seen the Lambos
every time
and
you
all that
brag, someone wants to come and take some of it.
stuff. Yeah, you start scaling up, they're like, oh, I want a piece of this pie. So it happens.
Love it. Last question. What do you see the best business model, the most successful business model for 2025? Is it all insurance, all retail, 50-50? What kind of split or percentage commission? What do winning companies do in 2025, in your opinion?
So a winning roofing company in 2025 and this next couple of years, with the shifts that we've seen in the insurance, I think they should plan on a mix. You're talking 50% mix roughly. And if you're in a heavy storm market, it may not actually land that way, but I would plan for that. And it's not necessarily that 50% of your jobs are going to be retail, 50% of them are going to be storm, but we have to realize that more money is coming out of the homeowner's pocket because of ACV policies, RPS policies, higher deductibles. States like Oklahoma just moved to where they allow up to 5% of home value. Well, that's a lot more money in the ticket coming out of the homeowner's pocket. So that means these companies need to be systemized to sell a retail amount. It may not be a retail job. The insurance company may be involved in a high storm market, but there's more money coming out of their pocket, which means they need internal systems, follow-ups, customer experience. They need to have internal salespeople that are willing to stay on top of these things and follow up. And I think the more you build the thing a contractor has control of, themselves, who they have, what their system is, what their process is, how they're going to go sell, what their financing looks like, how they easily manage when the homeowner has a bigger part of the ticket, whether it's an insurance job or full retail job, or just they're only getting half their money from insurance. The more they can prepare for that, I think they will continue to be successful, because there was a long time in the roofing industry where you could knock a door, start a claim, homeowner was going to face $1,000 to $2,000. It was a pretty low friction sale. Some would argue it wasn't even really selling. You're only selling, hey, you got to pay a deductible. Now that that's a bigger piece, some of these guys aren't ready to make that transition and actually shift into, we need to have the consumer paying part of it. And if they prepare for that and do that, if it shifts more to retail, they're set for it. They're in that gear. They're not only in that insurance mindset. So if it ends up being more retail mix in the year, great, they're ready for it. If it ends up being still a dominant insurance, but more out of the customer's pocket, they're ready for that too. That's the kind of model I'd be looking for in 2025 to be successful with all the industry changes on the insurance side.
Love it. Thank you so much. Any products that impressed you on this show? Anyone you've seen or that you didn't see before, like it was a opening for you?
In this show so far, man, I've barely made it around to this point. I have seen a few of the synthetics. I'm not going to name names on this, but I do think there's a push for more sustainable products, and we're seeing some more pricey things that are synthetics, that look like shingle, that look like tile, that look like slate, but they're not those heavy materials. And I think we're going to see, if they can get those to be a little more cost effective, some consumers who bought a roof in 17 are buying a roof in 2024 at double the price, maybe commit to buying a little bit higher, more sustainable product. So I'm kind of excited to go back through the show and see if I can see some more of the sustainable products and where those are going, because I think we'll see a trend of those take a bigger piece of the pie in the roofing segment.
Love it. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I have seen the video. I'm actually going to walk in right now. Heath Hicks, the wheelbarrow. When I saw the video, I'm like, is this here? Did you see that?
Oh, is it here?
Yeah, so the wheelbarrow that goes in, in a dumpster.
I got to go see Heath.
So that's number one. I'm walking there right now.
So that's an equipment piece then. That'd be
great.
great.
I love stuff like that, because I actually have done it so many times. You always put like 2x6s, 2x8s to get the wheelbarrow, but then once it goes up, you kind of have
lose
to go-
control of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
I love
it's a
stuff
lot
like
to work
that.
through. Well, no, I love them. I love everything they do. I love the catch-all system. I'd love to see, if he's got that thing here, I want to go see that too.
Yeah,
So
me
I didn't
too.
even make it over there yet. But yeah, that's fun, man.
Love it. Let's walk around.
All right.